Ugh. Hello. We are live for the first time in a little over a month, I think. How are we? Feel like I have to get back in the swing of things since it's been like a month and a half. Um, but hello, for those of you who are new, I am Stephanie. I do a bunch of uh writing sprints and productivity sprints over here on my channel and on my Discord, which should be in the description. My critique partner and best friend, Katrina, she is over on my Discord server and our joined server and her own. And we do a lot of sprinting and writing stuff and bookish stuff and nerdy things over there. But hello, I hope everyone has had a great holiday season. Mine was hectic. For those of you who were streaming with me in November, I came down with a really bad cold, which then turned into a sinus infection, and that sinus infection basically lasted all of December. I'm finally on antibiotics for it and finally not coughing as much and whatnot, so I'm feeling a little bit better. And I see people are here. I hear Storm coming to join us. What's up, baby? You want to say hi to the people? Come here. Come here. You want to say hi? Come on. I think she's being a little shy. Kelly, I miss doing these, so I'm glad to bring them back. Welcome. Coco, I am glad to be jumping in. These always help me write more. Yay! Yeah, I don't think I've done any writing since the end of Nano. December, I did a lot of planning and prepping for the new year. So much so where I have the next few years planned out on projects that I want to work on. So that's either going to help me or hinder me. But I'm hoping to do this new writing routine of mine where I spend a couple hours working on one project and then a couple hours working on a different project. The projects that I'm going to be working on is one of them will be my fantasy romance, which is what I was working on in November with Nano. And then the other one that I want to work on is a contemporary romance. And my contemporary romances have really fleshed out into a plan where I have several interconnected series that I want to work on. So we'll see how that works. But yeah, so 2024, I'm apparently putting a lot on my plate. But I think it's going to be a good year to gauge exactly what I can get done and accomplished and hopefully start the actual publishing side of things. So today, what I'm going to be doing is, at least with the first sprint, I'm going to get things set up since I haven't touched any kind of writing things at all in the past month. I need to basically regroup, reread some things, and figure stuff out, get back into a habit. So the first sprint that I will be doing for me personally is going through my Scrivener docs, going through everything and just figuring out game plan and where I need to start. Because I'm a little lost right now. So If everyone is ready, I will go ahead and start that first sprint now. And whether you are writing, reading, cleaning, studying, whatever you're doing, I'm here to help you be productive. So let's get this first 25-minute sprint started, and I will see you guys when it's over. Happy writing, reading, whatever. Okay, and that was the first sprint of tonight. Um, ugh, okay. Leave it to my husband. Oh, Lord. Hannah! It's been forever since I've written. Same, 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 same. I've missed these live streams. Nano was so much fun. Nano was fun this past year. I had a lot of fun. Even though I didn't hit the 50,000, I hit an all-time high for myself, so that was really fun. Um, last week or earlier this week, I got a new Notion template to try, and I'm putting my stuff in there and I'm seeing how it works out. I'm tweaking it a little bit because there's some portions of it that I want like synced into other portions of my um, Notion dashboard, but I'm hoping that this is going to help with keeping my contemporary standalone series, companion series, that's the word, together. So I'm excited to be trying that. That's what I've been working on for this past sprint. It's probably what I'm going to be working on for the most of the night tonight, just because I'm trying to just get back into it. So I don't know if I'm going to have any like new words for myself because I'm just trying to get my stories ready so that I can start writing. I was hoping to write like I think 9,000 words this week, and that did not happen. Ren, editing tonight. I got through maybe half a chapter during that sprint. That's awesome. Yay. I love watching Notion TikToks. I would love to be so organized. I have been trying to make Notion work for me for years. Um, I also want to put together like my own little Notion dashboard that I can provide for all of you guys, but I want to make sure that it works for me. So I've been trying a whole lot of things and I've been trying to teach myself some more stuff, but I am determined to make Notion work for me this year because I love the organizational capabilities of it. But yeah, I am hoping to make it work for me this year. Katrina uses it a lot. She really loves it. Um, but yeah, I just started using Notion and I love it so far. Yes, it's very overwhelming at first, I feel like, though. Um, I don't even know if that overwhelming feeling goes away because I still feel overwhelmed at times. But I think just the more that you do in it, you learn more. And I feel like you tend to not be as overwhelmed. But at the beginning, just know it is a little overwhelming. Get that? I'm plotting a new story today and trying to organize my thoughts, so I'll hang around for the sprints even if I'm not writing words. I'm here for the productivity because that's really what I need right now. I was hoping to do some writing today, but I didn't get to do any of this earlier because I had a meeting, and then after the meeting, I started watching the movie Book Club and then spent time with the family before coming on here. So it is what it is, but I'm here for all your productivity needs. Mine is basic right now, basically just a calendar and to-do lists for my writing process. Yeah, I get that. I'm trying to, with my own dashboard, I'm trying to get it to where it connects everything everywhere, and it gets a little complicated in my head when I'm trying to do it. But so far, the one of the templates that I got earlier this week, I like how it's set up so far. So depending on how I like that, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think I needed the holidays to be behind me to finally try to rekindle that writing routine I had in November, fresh January start. Yeah, absolutely. I've noticed the past few years, like ever since I started tracking my writing stats, that I tend to take the majority of December off of all writing aspects. Like I'll do a little bit of like planning and plotting, but for the most part, December is so hectic for me that I don't usually do a writing goal because I don't get a whole lot of writing done in general in December. It's just always so busy. And so, what I use December for, besides being with family and doing all the hectic things with them, is I do it for like planning for the future. So I did quite a bit of that earlier this, or I guess last month because it's January now. Um, and then this past week, I was hoping to start January off like with a real good start for the writing, but with my kids still being out of school, this week just was like a complete blur. And then on top of it, with the sinus infection and everything, it's been a little rocky to say the least. But it's only day 7 of 2024, so we got this. January is going to be great. 2024 is going to be great. I'm putting it out into the universe. Oh, man. I just realized I didn't make any tea today. I'm going to probably have to do that next sprint. So I've gotten a new planner. I went with the Clever Fox. It's an undated, and I'm seeing how I like it. So far, I'm liking it, and I have a good feeling about it. I was thinking about getting a new Hobonichi because I like how it's got the months and then the weeks and the days. And this is kind of like that in where it has the months and the weeks, but it doesn't have like a daily section. And honestly, I kind of really don't need a daily section, but I'm gonna see how this works. So if any of you have tried the Clever Fox weekly planner, let me know how you like it. So far I'm liking it. I've been so hit or miss with planners over the years, ever since COVID. Um, my planning system just completely got out of whack, and I'm just trying a whole bunch of different things. Yes, it is a very pretty teal color. That's pretty much like my color of the year so far. My story was simmering in the back of my mind in December, and I think taking a break was super helpful. I had several plot breakthroughs recently, both for the Nano story and the new one. That's awesome. I fully believe in simmering the pot. Um, it's amazing what simmering can do for a story. I I fully believe that simmering the pot is a much needed thing. I have resigned myself to the fact that I am a Post-it note girly, not a planner girly. I mean, I do that too because I have Post-it notes everywhere. But that's just to remind me because of my ADHD. I forget everything all the time. So I just have like Post-its to remind me to do specific things. Um, Other than that, for like weekly planning and meal planning, I tend to use a planner. But, you know, we'll see how long it lasts because the past couple years I have gotten a planner. I have used it for like a week or two, or maybe at most a month, and then didn't touch it for the rest of the year. Case in point, what happened when I bought myself the $60 Hobonichi cousin. I used it for about a month, and I didn't use it for the rest of the year. And so now it's a very expensive planner just sitting on somewhere over here. I don't even know where it's at. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's get into another sprint. If I can remember how to do this again. Okay. Let's do another 25-minute sprint. I will see you guys in 25 minutes. Happy writing or being productive. Okay, and that is the end of the second sprint for tonight. That one I didn't get as much done only because I had to take Storm out to go to the bathroom. And now that it has fully hit winter and we've gotten our first measurable snowfall, it's too cold for her. And she forces you to stay out there until she's done so that she can come straight back in. It's hilarious. I even had to carry her all the way out there because as soon as we got outside, she like wouldn't budge. And I'm like, girl, you gotta go potty. I made tea, grabbed water, took my antibiotics, and did a little bit of brainstorming. I've realized I'm not really good at coming up with plot twists. I'm trying to get like a list of potential plot twists going before I start writing, just so like if I need a plot twist, I can just like pluck one out. That's not going so well for me. Is anybody else like that where it just doesn't come like that? Amelia, you need to go to bed. Well, go ask Daddy.
Dad has to sleep. I don't want to bother him.
Well, you're gonna have to wait. Go sit on the couch, please. Love you. She's lucky. She's cute. Storm is such a pretty name for a dog. Thank you. She actually
Couch with nothing.
just sit on the couch. You gotta wait.
I'm not being here.
Because I said so.
I don't like being so lonely.
Please.
I won't bother you and yell.
Sit. Sorry. Storm came with that name when we adopted her, and we really ended up liking the name, and she responded to it, so we never changed it. I love that name too, so pretty. I finished the chapter I was editing, and it was so long I split it in two. So technically I edited 2 chapters. Yay! So happy for you. Plot twists don't come easy to me either. If I end up within, it's purely by accident. Yeah, I'm trying to at least just like come up with like potential plot twists, but also like possible like scenes. And Amelia, stop. Yeah, it's not. I'm trying to get to a point where I won't get stuck in the future. I'm trying to set myself up for success rather than failure. I'm reading They Never Learn by Lane Fargo during these sprints. Yay! How is it? What is that one about? I don't think I've heard about that one. I'm working on plotting a dark academia bully romance, and I'm trying to understand the psychology of my MMC. Lots of research. Ooh. Is it going to be like a dark romance, or are you sticking like that? Technically, wouldn't that be a dark romance, like bully romances and with dark academia feels? That sounds so intriguing, and I do not envy the research that you have to do for that. As you can see, I have a little monster lurking in the background. She's supposed to be in bed because
I didn't get medicine.
Because school starts tomorrow.
Yeah, but it was also cold.
You should have told Daddy.
Yeah, but he said no medicine, so I was asking you.
Go. When I start the next sprint, I will get you medicine and put you back to bed. Okay?
But you don't call me monster.
You are a little monster.
You only call me Cookie Monster because I love cookies, brownies.
Yeah, this week has been very, very, very interesting with these kids being home from school. I need them to get back on a schedule. Yes, very dark, LOL. I just got into reading the bully romance niche of the dark romance genre, and I love it. I've read a couple, I believe. Um, technically, don't Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti write bully romances with the Zodiac Academy? I've read the first, I think, 3 or 4 of those books. Um, they are twisted. I love it. And then I'm trying to remember what else I've read that is like bully themed. I think LJ Shen has a few bully romances. I'm hit or miss on her books though. Um, I'm trying to remember what else. It's about a serial killer professor who kills guys on campus that do bad things to women. So kind of Dexter-ish with Amelia, you are so distracting. Please stop. um because he's like killing bad guys in a sense is where I was going with that. Sounds interesting. You'll have to let me know how that is. Amelia, please sit down.
Okay, manipulate.
If you like fantasy romance that is completely bonkers, I highly suggest reading them. But I have heard. Shh. No, stop. Shh. I don't even remember what I was gonna say. Oh, I have heard that a lot of them end in cliffhangers. So I would suggest if that bothers you to binge read them. I think they're all out. If not, the last one is coming out soon-ish. But I mean they're fun. They're fun. I started with Untouchables by Sam Mariano. I have not read that. Yes, exactly like Dexter. She's a bad person, but you're rooting for her at the same time. I love that. Gotta love that. Okay, I'm going to start the next sprint because I need to put this one back to bed because it is way past her bedtime. She has school tomorrow. So let's get this next sprint going. Amelia, please stop. I'll see you guys back in 25 minutes. Okay, and that's the end of that sprint. How did we all do? Real quickly, I did want to um, point out, since we were talking about like specific types of books and like tropes and everything, I recently found this website called romance.io that shows, there's a link right here. This is going to like a specific book that Hannah was talking about earlier. But this website has a whole bunch of romance books on there, and you can essentially find books that are similar to that one that you liked, and it'll give you a list of that. It'll give you a list of books that fit a certain trope that you want to, if you go through like their book finder thing. It's a really interesting website. I haven't been able to play around too much with it, but I was curious to find other authors that are similar to Devney Perry, and I came across this website, and it's, I think, a really huge resource for readers. So if you want to know more about it, go ahead and click that link, and you can, or just go to romance.io. But yeah. Hello, Nikki. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Let's see, where did we leave off? Started reading Sick Boys. I haven't read that one either, but you think it's going to be unhinged. Okay. Devney Perry is contemporary small town romance. For the most part, I think they take place in different towns of Montana. She also has a pen name under Willa Nash, but I think she's combined both of those pen names now. And for the most part, it is small town contemporary romance with like a hint of suspense and mystery. So it's not like full blown romantic suspense, but there is a sense of suspense and mystery within it, which I really, really like. And she does have a more recent series called Coach, and I think the second one is called Blitz, and that is a sports romance. I do not know if there's suspense and mystery within that one because I haven't read that series yet. But I am on a deep dive of reading all of her stuff. I have enjoyed everything that I've read from her. Nothing has been lower than like a 3.75 or a 4-star read for me. I've really, really enjoyed her stuff. And so I found that website because I wanted to find authors that were similar to her. And I think the only other author that I've read that I can compare to her is Catherine Cowles. I think they write similarly. And I've only read one of Catherine Cowles, and I had like that same feeling with her book that I did with Devney's books. So if you're interested, definitely check them out. I love them. Katrina's here. Yay! Welcome. I've recently started using Reddit to find book recs. TikTok has let me down too many times. The Reddit dark romance subreddit is a goldmine for discovering recs that have super specific tropes. Ooh, good to know. I have not gone on Reddit a whole lot. I think I've been on Reddit maybe a handful of times. And it was just like when I was looking for like a specific thing, like a template, or like I Google searched something and a subreddit came up. So I haven't like dived into a rabbit hole of Reddit yet, and I don't know if I want to, but it's good to know that there's a whole bunch of recommendations available there. So thank you for letting me know. And yes, TikTok, I feel like, is very great on the whole marketing for authors, but I feel like they push the same like 20 books, and you kind of like, I think other books get lost. Um but yeah, I can see that. I can see how TikTok can let you down sometimes. I had never used Reddit until very recently. I was always intimidated by it, but now I'm kind of hooked. Yeah, I have a feeling I would be hooked. I have that kind of personality. But yeah, I've really only been on it a couple of times. But what can you do? Uh, I don't really know what I was going to talk about during this little break. I didn't get too much figured out in that break. I think because I got distracted by the romance.io. Exactly. And sometimes the books that TikTok is pushing, it's only one specific scene that is being advertised. And turns out that was the only good scene in the whole book. Oh no. Yeah. I feel like I just see the same books over and over again on TikTok. But I did just find out from Katrina that if you, I think she said if you hold down on the video or something, you can say not interested so that you can like get the algorithm to start working for you again. Because I told her I keep getting stuck on like random threads, I guess, or TikTok rabbit holes. And I don't necessarily want to be on them because sometimes they make my anxiety go through the roof. But apparently, there's a way to kind of tweak the algorithm a little bit or fool it, I guess, is a better way to say it. But I don't know. I haven't really been on TikTok a whole lot in the past couple of weeks. I've been trying to take somewhat of a TikTok cleanse. Is that the right word? Yep, and it doesn't help that TikTok is being all kinds of weird lately. What do you mean? What's it? Like I said, I haven't really been on it too much. I've been trying to stay away from it just for my own mental health. But I'm trying to get back into like Instagram. Instagram never really gave me anxiety. TikTok and Twitter have given me so much anxiety in the past that I'm trying to go back to Instagram. I miss Instagram. I've started doing that because I keep getting one specific book on my feed while I already read. Yeah, Katrina can double check with or confirm or deny if I'm saying this right, but if you hold down on the video, there is some sort of option to where you can click that you are not interested in this, and it should start to tweak it for you. I'm getting videos from like November and early December. Didn't that happen not too long ago too, where things were when was that? I feel like that happened in the past like 6 months where things got wonky and we were getting a whole bunch of like old TikToks rather than like ones that were happening right now. To be honest, I'm on TikTok less because it's like 80% ads. I have noticed that it's a lot of ads now. Probably because they're paying so many influencers. Oh, I don't get on Twitter. Yeah. And Twitter is no. I think I have logged into Twitter a handful of times only to check specific certain um Twitter feeds Um, but other than that, I steer clear of Twitter. I hate Twitter. I have, like, the Twitter handle for my author handle and for my bookish handle, but that's just to have it and so that nobody else has it. But I do not like Twitter or X, whatever it's called now. I forget Twitter exists, but I guess it doesn't. LOL, it's X now or something. It's basically the same. I don't think it's really changed. The name has changed, but it's pretty much the same. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought that that happened not too long ago with TikTok. It was only a matter of time before it turned into a pay-to-play market. It took longer than I thought. Yeah, it did take a little bit longer, but I think they are paying so many influencers on TikTok nowadays that they kinda have to make up for it in ads. I get notifications from TikTok all the time to run ads, and I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." Yeah. Like, I really enjoy doing, like, the daily vlog clip like, 1-minute vlog clips for, um, like, when I was doing Nano and everything for TikTok, but at the same time, it takes so long for me to even get those together, and I can only get them really together after the kids go to bed. And then that eats into, like, my writing time, and I'm just like, I miss the times of Instagram when Instagram was the thing. Let's bring Instagram back. Katrina, are you working on anything today, or are you taking a small break since you just had your major deadline? I've heard TikTok is going to start pushing long form content and maybe compete with YouTube because people have scroll fatigue. But I'm not sure we have the attention span for long videos. I feel like if people want long videos, they're gonna go to YouTube for it. I don't think they should. I think TikTok will go down if they start pushing the long form. I feel like that's what happened with Instagram when Instagram started pushing all of the reels to compete with TikTok. That's when Instagram started to like go down a little bit. But I miss like the photo portion of Instagram. Like that was very nice for introverts, and I am the biggest introvert. Like Instagram is for the photos, TikTok is for the short content, YouTube is for the long content. Like, can we just stay in our lanes? Like, am I the only one who thinks that? Like, let's get this back to how it was when social media was not anxiety ridden and competing for all of the attention. Sam, I took the time the other day to film like 8 vids. Yes, you did. And I'm very proud of you for being able to do that. But it is so time consuming. Like, yes, it is short, like, content, but it is time consuming, like, almost more time consuming than my YouTube videos. That's saying something. Since some of my vlogs are like 30 to 45 minutes long. I'm working on images and stuff for release. Okay. Right? Like let's get the social media back to where it's supposed to be. And with the photo portion of Insta, it's better to add those posts to your stories because most people spend time there. Yes, which I do that. Like I am fine with the whole stories being on Instagram. I actually like that portion. Um but like can we stop pushing the reels? Like if I want to watch that, I'll go on TikTok for it. Right? Like I used to post on IG like 5 to 6 years ago. It was so great as an introvert. I made aesthetic flat lays with books and things. It was fun and low stress. Very low stress. I'm all about the low stress. Once it becomes too stressful, I start being very anxious about it. And I've noticed that when I do the daily vlog, like 1 minute vlogs on TikTok, that the more I do it, the more stressed I am and the more anxious I get. And then I have to take like a complete TikTok binge of just banning it for a little bit because my anxiety is through the roof. And I hate that. Um, so I want to go back to Instagram. I want to post on TikTok, but it takes so much effort. I honestly would prefer to write my books and not think about setting up an author platform. Yeah. Unfortunately, if you are going to be an indie author, you kind of have to put half of your eggs into the author platform basket just so that you can get some kind of traction. But I understand. I understand this so much. If I didn't have to worry about an author platform, I would have so much more time to worry about my actual writing. It's one of the things, and Katrina can confirm that I have said this multiple times. I'm like terrified to publish because of the whole business that comes on the back end. Like, I know I'm decent at the writing and the editing. I'm good at that. Like, that is me. The whole business behind it all, like the publishing of it, I am terrified of doing it. But I also know that I want all the power of my stuff rather than going the traditional route. Plus, honestly, romance kind of the indie kind of rules the romance world for the most part. So there's also that. And I appreciate you so much for that. But I'm still terrified. Yeah, well, here's hoping I get over my fear of being seen. I get that whole post a few videos, get anxious, don't post for a while cycle. Yeah, I go through it so many times. And unfortunately, sometimes that even goes into where I have to like stay off of all social media, and then it affects my YouTube channel. And I'm like, no, I like the YouTube and I like the Instagram. So maybe I should just stay away from TikTok. But I know TikTok is like, when it works, it really works like wonders as a marketing tool for authors. Seeing like face wise or just on socials in general. Let's see, what were we talking about? I think she's talking about your fear of being seen. Yeah, Katrina doesn't post a whole lot of face content. Most of her videos are like kind of flip throughs. Like is that considered a flip through when you're like going like this through the book, right? That's a flip through video. It's a lot of those and like with quotes and whatnot of her books. Face wise, I guess I've posted talking videos before. I just need to completely forget that I did and never go back to rewatch them, or I'll be tempted to delete. I understand. When it comes to TikTok, I've never done any kind of talking in the videos that I've posted. It's all been mostly, if it's like about like my vlog clips, it's just like a montage of that day and set to some music. Or if it's about like when I was on Kindle Vella, it would be like my cover with like an excerpt on it. So I've never done any like talking things, but my face has been in some of the videos when it comes to like the daily vlog type of thing. Also, I very rarely live post anything. I schedule everything for the month and then just comment. Yeah, you have to teach me your ways when it comes time because I'm gonna have to do that because I would much rather schedule everything on like a random Sunday and then be good for a few weeks just to worry about like engagement. It's so hard as an introvert. I burnt out and disappeared for a couple of years. I'm trying to find the balance, but it's difficult. It's so difficult. It is so difficult. Ugh, I feel you on this. I'm thinking about starting to post photo slides on TikTok because they seem to do well, and TikTok is also pushing that kind of content. Well, that's kind of cool. But, like, just I love how TikTok is pushing the photo slides, which is basically what you can do on Instagram when you post, like, the 10 pictures in one post, like a photo dump. So, Instagram pushes the reels, and now TikTok is pushing the photo slides. Make it make sense. Yeah, I get that. I do lots of page flips, like Steph said, or even vids of a candle burning and my words on the screen with music. Yep. I made one TikTok and it was a photo slide with a scene. It did well, but took me forever, right? Like, why does it have to be so complicated to make these TikToks? Maybe once we get used to it, it'll go faster. Yeah, I say that, but then I never get used to it because I go on this little burnout and disappear, not for a couple of years, but for like a couple of weeks or months. And then going back into it, it's just as hard as it was from the beginning. Slideshows are doing well right now. I keep all my text in Notion and copy and paste. I know. I know. I have a lot of copy in my Google Drive just because I haven't found the right. We're trying to make Notion work for me this year. I'll get there. I love the idea of planning content that far in advance and not having to stress about filming every day. Yeah. I'm still here. I think I'm an ambivert. Ambivert. I don't know if I spelled that right. I think you spelled it right. I think I butchered the pronunciation the first time. Um, I know I've heard the term before. I don't know if I know exactly what it means. Let me look it up. Person whose personality has a balance of extrovert and introvert features. Okay, I can see that. I'm kind of like that in the sense that I'm extroverted with my small group of friends. When it comes to anything outside of my small group of friends, I am the biggest introvert ever. So I don't know if that would if I would classify myself as an ambivert, but for those of you who don't know, an ambivert is a person whose personality has a balance between the extrovert and introvert features, according to Google. Why does editing take so long? I don't know. That's a good idea using Notion. Yes. Katrina has her entire life on Notion basically, and I am super jealous because I need I need to try and make Notion work for me this year. I will take several hours to make one post perfect. I want to get over that perfectionism. When you figure out how to do that, can you let me know what the secret is? Because I need the cure for that as well. Definitely need that cure. Yes, perfectionism is the worst. If anything ever happens to Notion, I'll be screwed. Um, maybe this is your sign to at least have a backup somewhere. It doesn't have to be as pretty, but at least all of the information is on a backup of on something like either in docs or something. I deleted and redid mine 4 times because I kept finding mistakes. I understand this so much. Honestly, that's the part I like about TikTok. There doesn't have to be perfect things. Like when I do face vids, I'm a hot mess. Yeah, I don't think I try to make my TikTok videos perfect. I try to make it as quick as possible because I wanna get off of it, and I don't wanna get sucked into the rabbit hole of it. Um, but I can understand when it comes to, like, other social media stuff. I'm always searching for that cure. We'll let you know if I find it. Yes, keep me in the loop. Okay, at least you have a partial backup. Maybe this year we should, work on getting a full backup for you so that you don't have that fear of if Notion goes down, so does your business. Alrighty, let's get into another sprint because I think that was a very long tangent. While it was fun, let's rein it in just a little bit. I will see you guys back in 25 minutes. Happy productivity. Okay, and that was the end of that sprint. How did we all do? That was actually a pretty productive sprint for me. I have, I think, 6 chapters figured out. I need to hash out a couple of the scenes there. Um, oh, um, I need to hash out some of the scenes in there, but I'm feeling real good about it. I'm excited for it. That's I want to make sure that I stay excited about the projects, so that I don't lose momentum. Um, but I'm excited. I'm excited for this, and I don't know. I know I mentioned earlier that over my little hiatus in December, I went through all of my contemporary romances, and I kind of connected all of them. So I have, like, I think it's 4 4 different stories that have their own little series, and I kind of connected all 4 of those series, and it's super exciting. Um, and I potentially have a lineup of a lot of books if I can get it to work for me. Um, which is why I said earlier that I potentially have a writing schedule for the next few years. And I'm hoping it works out. So let's let's hope this I can keep this up. Thank you for the blessings, Nikki, because she caught my sneeze on camera. Hannah actually started writing 338 words. Yes. That's awesome. I am so happy for you. Ren almost finished the last chapter of this book, but I'm wondering if I need to add any more scenes. Maybe I'll write them for a newsletter magnet. Do you feel like the ending is a little rushed? Is that why you're wondering if you need to add any more scenes, or are you feeling like it's just too short? Um, if you feel like it's complete, definitely use those as like bonus scenes for a newsletter magnet. I still don't understand how newsletter magnets even work. Katrina's got to help me when I get to that spot in my life. But yes, um, I think Daphne Perry is a big inspiration for this because even though all of her series takes place in a different small town in Montana, I think there are some settings and some characters that get mentioned in random books, kind of like Easter eggs. And the way that I have it set up, I can input characters that you'll see like later on in like 3 different series going down. And it's really, really fun. Like, I'm a big Easter egg kind of person. I think you kind of have to be if you are a Swiftie. So my inspirations for it is Daphne Perry and Taylor Swift with the Easter eggs. But I'm really, really excited about it. I'm just hoping that it pans out and I don't get that I'm not like burning myself out with it. Yes, thank you. I'm super excited for it. Yeah, I've always, excuse me. What? Do you want to say hi to the people? Do you want to say hi to the people? Say hi. I'm Storm, and I get a little annoying at night because she wants to play. She thinks that this is playtime instead of, bedtime. Can you say hi to the people? Huh? No? Okay. I love when authors are able to interconnect different series. I think it's so fun, and I've always wanted to have companion series that could be connected to other companion series that I write. And I think it's really fun that I've been able to, to figure out kind of a timeline and a way of doing that. The ending feels good. I think I just overthink things. Also, I'm worried there's not enough of the male's POV. I think a read through after I finish editing will tell me. Absolutely. And do you have like either a critique partner or a beta reader group? Definitely ask them if they feel like it's a finished type of thing, or if they feel like it's missing something, because that'll be helpful too. So I definitely suggest that. Stormy, Hannah says hi and that you are such a sweetheart. She is a sweetheart. She's a monster though, like all my children. She's a sweetheart though. She gets very annoying when it's like 11 o'clock at night or at midnight and she starts barking at you because she wants to play. She thinks that's playtime, and it's really not. It's not playtime at that time. And she also gets super jealous and not enough attention. Let's be real, she gets the most attention in this house. But it's not enough for Stormy, huh? Wrong mouse. Do you try to make the balance of POVs like 50-50? Yeah, that's a great question. I think I try to do a good 50-50 myself, but when I outline, I definitely see more of a pull for the female main character. So since I haven't really finished a full project yet, I have a feeling I'm going to lean more towards like a 60-40 or maybe a 70-30, but I'd really like not to be a 70-30. I think 60-40 would be great. But yeah, definitely check in with your critique partner and or beta reader group, because I think asking them those questions is going to be very beneficial for you, and it'll give you a good gauge as to how the pacing is too. Oh my goodness. What's going on with you, girly? Not 50-50, just fair. Don't know how to describe it, but I want his backstory and internal conflict to wrap up as well. Absolutely. That's totally that's totally a good thing to have. Because I feel like if you weren't able to get his internal conflict wrapped up, that it would feel like there's like plot holes almost, right? I read a book recently where it felt like it was more 60-40 with the FMC having more on-screen time, and I didn't mind it. I felt like it made the MMC more mysterious. Yeah. My issue is sometimes I just don't know what kind of scenes to have for the male main character. I don't know why. But I've noticed that when I am outlining that I tend to have more of a 60-40 or 70-30 on the scene ratio for the female main character, where she gets the higher amount. But I don't think it's a bad thing, as long as as long as it seems fair, and I feel like as long as both characters are able to get their story out and wrapped up, I think is the most important portion. As to where Katrina has the opposite struggle, where the female main character is more of a struggle for her. Much more comfy writing the MMC. You want to write my male main characters because I struggle with it. I definitely struggle more writing the MMC than the FMC. So I don't understand this at all. So what I'm saying is when it comes time for you to read my stuff, help me with the male main character because I'm probably not doing him justice. For sure, it'll end up being the ratio it needs to be so long as you are getting on the page what needs to happen for the character journey to get completed. Absolutely. That's what I think too. All right, I think I have one more sprint in me before I call it a night. Normally I wouldn't mind going past. Are you trying to get into the garbage there? Oh my goodness. Normally I wouldn't mind going past the 11:15 mark, my time, but since tomorrow is the first day that the kids go back to school and I have a doctor's appointment right after I drop them off at school, I'm gonna make sure that I get off at a somewhat decent time tonight just so that I can make sure that I am in bed at a certain time. What are you doing? Do you have to go outside again? Okay, hold on one second. No barking. So I have one more in me for tonight. I almost always write single POV with a female main character. I want to try dual POV at some point. I actually do dual, but sometimes it is a struggle. I've never done a single POV. I struggle to conceptualize what goes on in the MMC's head, so I avoid it. I totally understand that. Totally get it. And there are readers out there who prefer the dual POV, but then there are readers who out there who really want the single POV. So, I mean, I don't know how to can't please everyone. One more for me too. I should be going to bed, but I really want to finish this. I hate stopping in the middle of something. Totally get that. I'll probably get off at 11. I have to make sure I get up on time. Yep, same. I'll be a little past 11 since I'll do one more 25-minute sprint. But yeah, let's get this 25-minute sprint going. And it'll be the final one for this stream. And I will be back on Wednesday. I'm going to do a Wednesday morning stream and a Wednesday evening stream. So I'll be doing 2 streams on Wednesday. And what POV do you do your dual POVs in? Are you talking about like present, past, and what else was I going to say? Currently, I usually do first person. I switch up with the first person and third person, but recently I've been sticking with first person, and I usually do past. I've tried. It's hard to say because I get so I switch between the tenses a lot, which is not great. But I tend to gravitate more towards first person past. And then sometimes a first person present will like get in there in the it's ridiculous. But first person past is what I usually do. Katrina does first person present. It's funny, I like reading both types of books, but a lot of people are pretty split on the preference. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of people are split, and I like both. I don't have a preference for either. Yeah. First person past is what I usually gravitate towards. Third person, I tend to gravitate towards for fantasy, but even with my fantasy romances, I've actually been switching that up for first person as well. I used to write third person, but I've really found my voice with first person. It comes so much easier. Yeah. And I think it helps let the reader get more into the story as well. Yes, that is exactly what I say. Okay, let's get this started so I can go take Storm out. I know, I'm coming, baby. All right, I'll see you guys in 25 minutes. Okay, that was the last sprint of the stream, and I think I have figured out the issues that I was running into in the last stream, or in the last sprint, um, which also added a trope to this book. So that's super exciting. Um, I'm super excited to start writing it. Like, I think I'm just gonna like outline a little bit and then write that little bit and then outline a little bit and then write that little bit. See how that works, because I don't want to lose the momentum and I really want to start writing. So I'm excited to do that tomorrow. But yeah, how did you guys do? Perfect finish editing that last chapter. Time for bed. Yay! Hannah got 553 words that sprint. That's amazing. And yes, I love being able to fix little holes. Oh man. I think Katrina already left to go head to bed. But yeah, I'm feeling really, really good about this. I'm excited. Um, I think I'm adding the workplace romance trope into this as well. So it's age gap, forced proximity, alpha hero slash like protective hero, heroine in hiding, and now I've added workplace romance. So I'm excited. I get that. I started writing because I'm excited and I really want to take advantage of that momentum. I'm going to outline as I go. Yeah, I think that's how I'm going to do this one. Just because I don't want to lose the excitement that I have for it. So, like if it was a little bit earlier and I would probably start writing it right now, but it is what it is. Are you working on a different project than the one from Nano? So from Nano, the majority of those 32,000 words that I wrote in Nano were for the fantasy romance. I am still going to be working on that this quarter. But what I'm planning on doing is working for like 2 hours in that project and then working for 2 hours in this contemporary romance project, which I didn't write any of this in during Nano, but I wrote 1,000 words in one of the books that is connected to this series. It's like The Town Over, Cedar Hollow. So to answer the question, no, or yes. Yes, I'm working on a different project right now than Nano. But it's in the same kind of realm of what I was working on for a little bit in Nano. But the majority of the words was the fantasy romance, which I will still be working on. I With my ADHD, I tend to just need to keep bouncing from whenever I feel like I need to change the genre. So I am always going to have two projects active that are in different genres. So yes and no is the answer basically. I'm working on two projects simultaneously too. This is my first time attempting this. I wish you all the luck for it. Um I I don't know if I have any advice to give because it's just I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I don't want the 32,000 words from Nano to go to waste just because I got absorbed into this new story. And no, um, sometimes it just needs to simmer. And those words are never going to be wasted, whether you use them or not. They, you learn from them no matter what. So I don't think it'll be a waste. Um, the contemporary romance, I did actually work on it a little bit, I think during Camp Nano in July, if I'm not mistaken. It was the project that I worked on in camp of either April or July, but I want to say it was July. And I already have like 8,000 words written in it, but I've changed it a lot. So like in the version that I was writing, they meet in the prologue and then it's like a year later and they meet again in the town that she runs to uh to get away from her ex-boyfriend who is like stalking her. And so they had like already met in the prologue, and while I loved where that was going, it just needed to change, and I love where it's at right now instead. I have ADHD too, and I like your approach. I used to be intimidated by the idea of working on more than one project, but I think that might be a good way for me to not get stuck. Yeah. I am self-diagnosed ADHD. I do want to say that. I haven't actually been fully diagnosed, but I I know I have it. Um, I used to get so stuck because I was forcing myself to stay in one lane and finish one project, and it just wasn't working for me, and I couldn't figure out why. So it was this past year where I decided to just embrace the chaos that my mind is and uh, just go with the flow. Like there are like today I'm really into the contemporary romance. Tomorrow I could be really into the fantasy romance. And I don't want to just hinder myself just because I want to write a little bit of fantasy one day and a little bit of contemporary the next day. So 2023 was eye-opening in the fact that I needed to embrace the chaos, and I can't look back. Um, I don't think I can put myself in a little tiny box and work one project at a time because then I feel like I'll get nothing done ever. And even though I say that, it is difficult still to get a project done just because I bounce around a lot and I have so many projects running around in my brain. I think since I've been able to connect a lot of my different projects together, I think it's finally starting to work with me. Like you said earlier, simmering is important. Yes, and bouncing between two projects allows for that. Absolutely. I'm self-diagnosed too. Totally valid. Absolutely. Especially when it comes to women and ADHD because they never really would have pegged us to have it because didn't I read something or hear something that all of the characteristics or something is has like with I don't know how to explain it. It's basically they didn't even look for ADHD in women to a point like at a point. And so many women have gone undiagnosed for so long that like what's the point now, right? Yes, embrace the chaos. It was my mantra all year last year. Work with your brain, not against it. Absolutely. Work smarter, not harder, right? But with that being said, it is almost 11:30 my time and I need to go lay down, relax, read a little bit of a book and attempt to get back on a routine now that the kids are going back to school, do I have all of my alarms set? And by all of my alarms, I have like 10. Yes, they're all on. Okay. Yeah, they didn't study when in the criteria for ADHD and the traits are perceived differently in women than they are in men. Yeah. So like as cool as I think it would be to get an actual diagnosis to see if I have just ADHD or if it's something I know I'm on the spectrum at some point. I'm just working with what I've got. And I feel like the majority of us are on the spectrum to a degree. I think it's more common to be neurodivergent than neurotypical, but that's my theory. Yes. Thank you. I am going to enjoy the reading and relaxing. Thanks for the sprints. I'm always so much more productive with you ladies. Same. I'm so happy to be bringing them back. I am going to be doing this every Sunday night, with the exception of next Sunday. I have a party that I have to go to with some of my past coworkers. So I won't be getting home till like 9 or 9:30. So if I do it next week, next Sunday, it'll be a little later, depending on what time I get home. So next Sunday is questionable, but the new schedule for this year so far, or at least for this quarter, will be Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Central and Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. Central, and then Wednesday evenings at 8 p.m. Central will be the new live stream time frames. So we're getting back into a routine. I'll be here more often. I've missed it. But yes, good night, everyone. It was fun. Loved the productivity. You guys are wonderful. As always, if you are new around here, I have my Discord server link down below. It is a fun little cozy corner. We're fun to be around. We're nerdy. Come hang out with us down there. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. Night.